Adam Chris from MyMMAnews.com via MyMMArijuanaChronicles, and I am being joined by my man A.T. McCowin. He is fresh off of a win at Ring of Combat 74, was it?
Yes, sir.
Ring of Combat 74. He made his middleweight debut, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes,
We took some time. We went from light heavyweight to heavyweight, back down to middleweight. We'll talk about it all, but we're obviously going to talk about the miracle, the wondrous, the mighty marijuana plant. I appreciate you coming over and joining me on set, man. How's it going?
All is well, man. How about for yourself?
Everything is wonderful. I can't complain. So before we get into anything, I want to show you my appreciation. We'll see what Chronic Claws here brought you.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, it's the holiday season. We're in the giving, so we got our man, the Flip Ultra. He can check them out for himself. You don't have to open it on air, but we got you that. See what else Old Chronic Claws brought you. You can match your boy.
Some swag, yes,
Some
sir.
swag.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got to take care of our professionals around here. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Of course.
So,
Lanyard there. I wonder what is taped to that hat. I just so wonder.
Oh, that is a doob tube, sir. Yes, Lord.
That's CBD in there.
Yes. Absolutely. You know, CBD, the good stuff.
Obviously, O2 Vape Hat, they take care of us. We want to take care of our fighters. So, again, some sticker swag for you, just a nice little pack for you. Again, appreciate you coming over. I appreciate you taking the time to, one, talk about your professional career, two, talk about cannabis with me, man. Again, it's something that needs to be talked about more, and I appreciate you taking the time to do it. So,
thank you.
AT, let's get into it. So you're coming off of a win, Ring of Combat 74, Chris Alcala, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So that was your middleweight debut. Again, I want to talk about the weight, but this was your first fight back in 2 years?
Yeah,
roughly?
2 or 3-ish.
So first and foremost, how did it feel?
It felt great, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, this time it was by far the easiest weight cut I've had in my entire fight career. It felt good.
Yeah. That feeling of getting back, I mean, I see you in the regional scene. I see you over some of our mutual friends' house. I know you've been itching to fight. I know you've been dying to get back in there. So the feeling of finally getting when I see fighters out of the cage for too long, it's almost like they're being starved and they need to be fed. Mm-hmm. Did it feel that way when you finally got back in there? That cage door shut, I'm finally being fed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, my coaches had a great game plan set. Code set up, everything. Mm-hmm. Cage click, I drop down. Yeah, guys, whatever. We're about to bang it out, baby. No head movement, no nothing, my man. Just swing at me. We're going to see who hits harder. Just beat me in the middle. You know, shout out to Christian. My man met me in the middle. He actually did that. And, we both gave each other a little bit of some nice beauty marks to remember each other by. It was
a fun fight. I will definitely say that. It was clear that you were the victor. Wasn't it a split decision?
Yes, sir.
That part I didn't get. When I was watching the fight, I thought it was unanimous. Sometimes, the judges, they are. It is what it is.
No, I will definitely give him the first round. Absolutely. I've started doing capoeira, and I've kind of hurt my shoulder a little bit doing some of those flips and stuff. So wasn't as effective with the left as I wanted to be. So I was pretty much just trying to knock him out with this one hand. My coaches calm down, you don't have to do that, So I actually started listening, started being a little more tactical with the second and third round. Well, with the second round, and then by the third, obviously that was just all me. I was just putting the pace on him at that point. I'm actually kind of upset at myself for not stepping on the gas a little bit harder. I feel like a couple moments there I could have actually, I don't feel like he would have actually dropped, but if I would have given enough volume, the ref would have actually stopped in there. Christian, that man's very durable. He tough SOB. I don't think that man would have, just fallen to just right hands.
Right.
But.
You say if you would have stepped on the gas pedal. So obviously my next question would be, did anything have to do with the weight cut? Because your fight before that was at heavyweight. You fought light heavyweight previously. Was that any part of it? I know you said the weight cut was good, but did that play?
Possibly. I definitely know I need to keep my weight closer towards that actual fight weight, so I can get used to just competing and doing everything, at 200 pounds instead of at the usual 220 that I walk around at. So gonna have to tighten up on the diet a little bit, but yeah, it'll be dialed in for the next one. Yeah.
So when can we expect that next one to be?
February 18th.
February 18th?
Yes, sir.
You have a signed contract?
Yes, sir. Signed contract. Ring of Combat again. So Ring of Combat 75. Fighting, Manny Flores.
Okay.
My bad, Manny. I apologize, bro. No disrespect. Manny Flores is the man I'm fighting. I believe he has a 1-2 record and 5-0 amateur record. Man prefers to win by knockout, if I remember that correctly. But I believe he is a jiu-jitsu black belt. So, man does have good grappling ability. So, it's going to be fun. I'm not sure which way he's going to try to play this game, but
that's interesting. That's an interesting matchup because a black belt but likes to knock people out. I can't expect that to work in his favor. You're a guy that likes to knock people out, but as we know as well, I just recently talked to one of your main training partners, Earl Trouble Small, black belt, one of the slickest black belts I've ever seen in jiu-jitsu, period, hands down, point blank. Trub, you're getting all the credit here. But, so you've been able to see it on every single angle. So how do you think that fight, obviously we can talk a little bit more about it when it comes closer, but how do you think that fight's going to go? You really think he's going to want to stand and bang with you?
I think he's going to feel one and might change his mind.
Okay.
Not going to guarantee it, but most people, it's usually they feel one of T's shots. One of my greatest examples was my second pro fight. I forgot what the guy's name is. I apologize, guys. I'm not the greatest with names, but my second pro fight, it was their 185 champion for Shogun Fights. I think I just barely clipped him with one shot, and my man went straight to the takedown. And it was just like, oh yeah, fuck that, take him down. It was just like, oh, well, yeah, all right. I thought we were fighting here, but we're going to the wrestling stuff. But I understand that's a big part of the MMA game that I've learned now and learned how to counter at least. So I don't care to go to the ground. I want to bang.
Do you feel much more comfortable at middleweight?
I'm starting to feel more comfortable at middleweight. My coaches have I'm not going to say convinced me, but they've gotten me to understand the game a little bit more, and that'll just make more sense for me to be at middleweight. As much as I would like to continue eating freely as free as I want and be a light heavyweight knockout artist. Whew, those guys carry a little bit more power than I do. Oh, and I definitely can't hang at heavyweight. Shout out to Fawn for reminding me of that, baby. Can't wait to see you put on for the next one, baby.
Which transitions me perfectly into my next question. You cutting to 185. I know you've seen heavyweight. I know you've seen light heavyweight. Now you're at middleweight. How does that affect when you are doing what we do and your eating habits, the munchies? Where's the diet go?
To be honest, I just kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
Definitely
not a deal breaker. It's just one of those things that sucks.
Exactly. A good 1-to-1 ratio of CBD and THC, that really helps with the aches and pains. So, if I can have that pain relief and just kind of have to deal with the stomach ache, I can deal with that. That also helps with take another little or add another little cookie to the discipline cookie jar. It feels good to do that.
And I'm not going to drop names, but you have a side gig at a dispensary doing your thing. Obviously, that's going to be to withstand, take in knowledge for you to further your education in your own operation, potentially down the road, obviously. But my question is, man, you know quite a bit about the cannabis plant. You're an advocate of it. You're a fan of it. You're getting to know the ins and outs of it, working at the dispensary. So my question is, everybody has their story. Everybody has their why they utilize cannabis. What's yours?
To be very honest, I just enjoy being high. Like, you know, the more aches and pain I get from MMA, the more I'm understanding the medicinal benefits it has. And, you know, the more patients I'm actually around that, you know, are getting real medicinal usage out of the plant outside of just getting a buzz or just getting, you know, high because they want to. It's great, man.
Yeah. What have you noticed since? When did you start utilizing cannabis in your recovery? Well, as you said, it started as recreational. I know that, but when did we start? Period. Let's put a timestamp.
Probably when I was like 29.
Really?
Yeah. So at that point, I was starting to have some of the aches and pains that come from, you know, doing MMA.
Of course.
Especially not, you know, warming up properly, just hopping straight on the mat, you know, doing everything cold, starts catching up to you. So, you know, changed up my diet a little bit, and also, you know, started including cannabis and psilocybin as well. But you know, and you know, then somewhere along the line, someone introduced me to, you know, actually trying CBD or, you know, adding that to the mix, and I was like, oh, okay, this is right. This is really all you need, you know, to solve most of your problems. You know, even your emotional problems can be resolved with, you know, with a hard enough psilocybin trip, or a joint or two.
Yeah, the entourage effect of everything in the cannabis plant. I mean, obviously for everybody's different usage. Some people, they might prefer edibles. They might prefer the sativas. They might prefer this, that, and the other. But what I'm saying is the cannabinoids that work together, that people don't understand the behind the scenes. They just think they're just going to smoke it, get high, feel good. That's just what it is. But when you start to break down the cannabinoids and putting them together and actually what works for you, the science behind it and understanding how it works for you and your body is second to none. Oh, I don't think pharmaceuticals can replace it.
Oh, not even close. Especially, you know, like as you said, the cannabinoids, or you know, figuring out what terpene profile suits your body best. Once you figure that out, man, it's almost like you got a life hack right there.
Yeah, you seriously do, and I know this firsthand when dealing with some certain instances and situations that, you know, a doctor, the quickest thing to do is prescribe you a pill, you know, a Xanax, anything like that. And granted, it might make you feel a little bit better, but it almost feels like it's a Band-Aid, whereas it's not actually taking in what your body might find useful for the actual problem itself. Absolutely. So has working with cannabis helped you fully understand, well, not fully understand, obviously it's an ongoing education, but has it helped you understand further what you're actually ingesting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, now I'm just not, you know, now when someone, you know, is just like, oh, are you doing that just to get high? Well, I am, but these are the other issues that, you know, is helping me resolve. You know, and it's usually pain relief. I'm predominantly an indica smoker. So,
what do you have to go through as far as fight camp goes to make sure that you're going to test clean? Now, and this is going to segue me into further questions about where it seems cannabis is heading in combat sports. But what precautions do you have to take nowadays to make sure that you're good if you are tested?
Usually about 3 weeks. Yeah. Go ahead and start. Not even start. Go ahead and just. Well, you know, if you are a heavy smoker who, you know, have built up a habit, you might want to go ahead and start getting yourself a nice weaning off process. But usually I give myself a nice cutoff date, you know, much like, I was about to say a very rude statement there, but we're going to just move past that. I'm going to say it off air though. But, you know, I go very hard on that that last day, as if I ain't going, you know, do it again.
Yep.
And then, you know, for the next 3 weeks, just deal, you know. And usually it doesn't even feel that bad. It'll just be like, this would be a good time to smoke, but it's all right. All good.
Yeah. Can you put into words what cannabis, not being on cannabis and being on cannabis, what has done to help not only your livelihood, but also your combat sports career?
Well, one, Cat Williams said this many years ago. It gave me that extra little boost to fuck it. So I no longer cared about people's opinions on what I should be doing, or, you know, or why I shouldn't, or whatever the fuck. I just, you know, made a decision, took the chance, and, you know, made something happen. Felt good. And so that part helped, and then, you know, the pain relief.
Yeah.
That really fucking helped. And I just really enjoyed being high. I'll be honest with you. You know, I took a long hiatus, probably like a 10-year hiatus, you know, between, or probably not, more like 8 years. So from like 20 to 29 of no smoking weed at all. You know, so it felt good to just finally get high again.
So where I was going with that was when I was talking about the precautions. Now I want to talk about where cannabis is heading in pro sports. There seems to be a trend that's picking up. I mean, the NBA is easing up, pretty much damn near not testing on it. MLB is following suit, NHL is following suit, and it seems to be the barriers are being broken down day by day by day by day. So do you think we're heading in the right direction as of right now? And do you think in your lifetime in combat sports, you'll see to where it's just non-issue?
I hope so, because I would absolutely love to share a joint with my opponent, you know, and just like, whew, baby, you're going to need this in about 15 minutes. We're going to smoke another one, because I'm about to give you the headache of your life. Please believe it. I hope you plan on bringing the same pain, because, you know, shout out to Derek Lewis. I'm bringing H-Town bombs, you know, although I'm from Middletown, Delaware. But, yeah, it's M-Town bombs.
M-Town bombs.
There we go. So,
man, I just got focused on the M-Town bombs, and then it just drew me another. But the stigma that it seems to unfortunately still follow it. Do you think it's like just the old heads that's still sticking in the old, where the pot makes you lazy, and you know the weed heads, all, you know? Do you think that stereotype is a thing of the past, or do you think it still sticks somewhat today?
I think it's a thing of the past.
Really?
Marijuana is like money. It's only going to enhance the character that's there. So, you know, if you are already a lazy person and you're just smoking all the time, you're just going to be a lazy person that's high. I'm apologize about that. Smoker's cough.
It's chronic, not corona.
Absolutely. There we go. But, you know, I get high and then I go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I'm putting in hard ass work. I don't think I'm being lazy.
No.
Fuck no.
No.
Am I stoned out of my mind? Yeah, goddamn right.
Right.
But, you know,
yeah.
I'm still putting in hard work, so I'm being lazy.
A lot of, and I'm pretty sure you can attest to this too, a lot of the combat sports athletes that I've come to talk to over the years, when I got into combat sports back in the day, I felt like I had to hide it. I felt like people couldn't know what I was doing on the side, because I felt like I'd be looked at in a certain light. So I just avoided people knowing what's my business is my business. Now, I obviously don't give a fuck. It is what it is. I have my medical card. Talk to me if you want. But that it seems like more and more and more athletes, and especially combat sports athletes, they're utilizing cannabis for their everyday recovery. I mean, you have promotions like High Roller. Shout out High Rollers. Love them. Love those guys. Mighty Matt, Big Lon, my guys. It comes a point where, why is it even of relevance anymore to be tested? What's the point? What advantage is a fighter going to get if they walk in there? Elias Theodoro, obviously, he just had a fight he in Colorado, utilizing his TUE. It's not he's going into the cage high to do something and be a goofball. You're going in there to do something that most of the world wouldn't have the audacity to do. So let them do what they want, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, either way, all right. I don't think any of us will give any or high, not high, drunk, no matter what the case is, all of us we are going to get in that cage and try to fuck up the other person as hard as we possibly can because we want the bigger paycheck.
True, but whether it be just what you just said, high drunk, being drunk, there's so many ramifications that can go wrong there.
Absolutely.
I'm a living testament to that. Now, what ramifications are there from somebody utilizing cannabis? Has anybody ever died from it? No. Has anybody ever overdosed from it? No. Has anybody...
You
might go to bed.
Too many snacks.
Couple snacks.
You know.
Ain't going to hurt nobody. You might have to run a couple laps.
Exactly.
But another question, one of your main training partners, Earl Trouble Small, we were talking about him earlier, straight edge. And you got,
absolutely.
And then you got you, cannabis enthusiast, working, doing your thing at a dispensary. How does that dynamic work?
It works very well. Trub, he's very cool, although he does not partake in any type of substances at all outside of water. And, maybe your occasional vitamin water or, whatever. What are those juices that Kobe used to invest in?
It was vitamin water.
It was
vitamin water.
Okay, so,
or was that 50 that invested in them?
Nah, I think that was 50. Yeah, but either way.
Right.
Might have seen him drink one of those, but nah, that man, takes care of his body.
Right.
And,
but that doesn't say that you don't because you utilize cannabis. You're also taking care of your body.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's different anatomy, has different needs. But it just goes to show that two hard-working individuals, one that can utilize cannabis, one that doesn't decide to, ultimately it doesn't work for them, whatever, it is what it is. They can bond and fuse and form that relationship to where back in the day, it's like, oh, he's a pothead. He's a pothead.
Absolutely. Oh, duh, absolutely. Man, he's actually very intrigued by, the whole industry and everything like that, it's teaching him about cannabinoids and terpene profiles and all that. During my last weight cut, I came in a little bit lighter, so we had a little bit more time to play. So, he was like, man, teach, what are we looking at? What, how do you know what's good and what's not? I don't know. You guys all going crazy because I'm not going to say a good amount of my team smokes, but hey,
he's not gonna say a good amount of his team smokes.
We'll say the amount of the people that were actually there in the hotel with me. So, as we're getting everything prepared for what was going to happen after the fight.
Of course.
He's just looking over our shoulders and just like, okay, all right, that looks cool. That's nice color. Well, what makes this one better than that one? It's very intrigued by everything, but he won't actually participate. He'll just kind of, okay, that smells nice. All right, I'll be in the side now. You guys do your thing.
So obviously you're pro athlete, doing your thing, successful at that, Ring of Combat, you're coming back to it. People that might still have a little bit of apprehensions. Now, obviously, over 18, we're not talking about kids or anything like that, but people that are of age, adult, that can make choices themselves, that might be curious about how to go about potentially looking into cannabis, thinking about maybe this might work for me because so-and-so medicine is not. What would be your advice? Excuse me.
First, if you can, go the legal route.
Of course.
Get your cannabis card, go to your closest dispensary, and make sure you are getting some good quality product. And usually most dispensaries have counselors that will walk you through the full process, and teach you about everything. But, the good thing about this day and age is we have the internet, and, the internet will pretty much walk you through any process. I've almost replaced my transmission in my car off YouTube University. So, I was pretty darn close, but I messed something up somewhere there. It just went to hell. But You know, you can always go to YouTube and, you know, or not YouTube, but Google, and, you know, that'll at least take you down a wormhole, get you to a website where you can read and get plenty of information on, you know, any questions you might have.
Nice. And we're going to see you back in the cage in February, Ring of Combat.
Yes, sir.
And, man, back at middleweight, back looking to knock somebody out.
Yes.
Can we expect a first-round knockout, second-round knockout? I'm sure we'll get closer to the fight and we'll talk, but
Absolutely.
If I know you, I think I know you're looking for early stoppage.
Absolutely. You know, I'm going to, of course, I'm trying to prepare myself for the UFC, and, you know, I know the UFC pays for finishes. Yep. That's what they're looking for. And that's what I'm trying to provide, finishes via knockout, because that's what Dana likes.
That's what Dana likes. But before I let you go, there's something, and this is one of my favorite conversations that you and I ever shared, and it was one of our very first conversations that we ever shared. Obviously, the long-term goal is UFC. Everybody wants to be in the UFC. But if you were to get a contract over in Japan, maybe one, those soccer kicks.
Yeah,
we've talked about it before. Some of our friends disagree with us. But you and I have had this conversation, and the knees to the side of the head, the soccer kicks, the stomps, that's something that interests you quite a bit.
You goddamn right. So I always looked up to hood rat shit, and that was, you know, kind of one of the things you always kind of heard about was just curb stomping a dude. So I get paid to curb stomp somebody. Oh, you motherfucking right. Yo, sign me up. However, I would like to get to the UFC. That way, you know, good name. Well, still, one, they pay. I would happily go over there and, you know, throw some sock kicks for some of that Japanese, some of that yen. I'll add a player. Or, no, wait, they are in China. Ooh, yen, that is. Ooh.
We're not sure of the currency, but we know it's something like that.
Exactly.
But, all right, man, I look forward to seeing you back in the cage. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me about cannabis, about fighting. I appreciate you coming over, and I hope you enjoy the goodie bag, man. Happy holidays, and 18 McCowin, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, man.
It was my pleasure, seriously. I look forward to seeing you fight again in the future. Look forward to smoking with you as soon as this camera turns off.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
My man, AT.